like what Finland's doing. Korea's going to be mirroring them, so there could be a battle for that coastal kind of square edge that wraps around the back of Militant Power. Now the transition here for Korea has Canada's sightlines firmly on top of them, but right now the shots aren't super great. Korea should be able to get up and over the hill, but they have Finland looming ahead.
To the south of it, now we've got Vietnam and Indonesia. Indonesia's trying to run through, but Vietnam has a great position for them and just absolutely tearing them apart. Back behind this, it's going to be Thailand that's going to be trying to make a run through it, but Vietnam is very caught up and trying to get the shots into this one. Up to the north of it, it's still chaotic as Korea is now dealing with Japan just rolling through them.
Yeah, getting a little revenge here for the last game. Korea's going to get at least 2. Nonix here's more cars, puts over the hill and gets another. 1 more to go, just Luna for Japan, but the Hood giving him just enough cover that he's going to be able to get away.
There's nowhere to go, though. They've got Finland on one side, Argentina on the other. He's got to navigate this so carefully. He's got to stop somewhere in the first place he can find. Just trying to get away. Finland has vision on it, but narrowly manages to get inside the building. I think stuff is starting to calm down. Nope, never mind. Never mind. China's coming in. We've got Thailand to the south. It's never ending, paper thin.
Yeah, I mean, China here has a bad situation. They tried to kind of get some information on people cutting up ahead of them, but they really weren't able to get much as there was quite a bit of fighting, so safe paths weren't really able to be found. They're going to lose 1 on the backside as their star player aches left. The tires are popped as well. It's so hard to drive those. Getting over to the side of the fence, but
how?
Where are you going to go? It's
how?
you're just, I mean, you have a little bit of a, okay, there's a little bit of a ledge on top of where they're going that you can hide at, but still, your vehicles are donezo.
But, I mean, it's better than nothing. How did they run through Canada, Korea, Turkey, Argentina, Brazil, Chinese Taipei, and manage to survive? They should have been dead like 3 times over.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes fortune favors the bold, or just, you know, the fortune favors
or
the fortunate.
There.
Yeah, just able to get in there somehow, some way. So, you know, we saw it with VHC earlier. Now China able to pull a little magic for themselves as Vietnam has Thailand completely camped out. So Thailand did kind of do what I was expecting them to kind of follow the coast on their way in. And they've got Vietnam at a numbers disadvantage, but so far this tournament, Vietnam has definitely been the better team.
This is going to be very hard for Thailand. Nurens has been putting in some good work for his squad. Turkey goes for a peek that they're going to instantly regret, as this is a very close range fight. The circle is roughly, I don't know, half to a third of what it should be, and so that means the fact that it is just going to be clustered. Anything that is open is just going to eat up more space, so now it's time to clown car. Isaki's going to go ahead and have his nade prepped, but it might be too far. Doesn't matter. Vietnam's already got the defensive wall lined up. Nade's going to be tossed over the side of that one. Doesn't connect, but man, this is a big problem. New Circle Pop still keeps in a huge section of that bay. So now it's just going to be more and more dead space, but most teams are already safe.
Yeah, I mean, Vietnam just doing a good job here, just thwarting Thailand's movement at every turn. Belmoth is going to get the knock on to Clory, so he's going to let loose with some utility of his own, but Molly is right next to him.
Belmoth!
He's getting help from Nil. It's actually Nile from Indonesia that's going to get the knock onto YM Cud, and Belmoth is going to get the finish.
Do we have a 1v1 over here at the time? Thailand is very weak. No, okay, they got Janku up as well, so looks back, and Isaki does want to make it into the 1v1, doesn't find the angle to work with off of that. He is revealed, but does have a path to make it inside the safe zone. Thailand, though, is still trying to regroup. They've got several down that they're trying to make sure that they keep an eye on. And Anonix is now finding themselves over here next to Finland, but I think that Finland's going to go ahead and let them pass by. This is just chaos, man. Everything's moving. I firmly recommend get the map open so that way you can track what's going on, because it's everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the map feed going, because you're going to want to see what these teams are doing, how they're maneuvering, and Korea's going to opt to try to follow the coast, and Onyx was kind of leading the way around here on foot, and again, there's space around the edge where you can mostly hide and stay safe, all the way kind of to that bay you were talking about.
Oh, Isaki's one to go for it. Nope, never mind. I thought he was.
He's
camera baited me. Camera baited me.
Well, he's going for something.
I know.
Sometimes those angles are tricky, man. I mean, I'm really impressed here that Thailand survived that fight. Got a little help from Nile, but really, you know, a big moment for them. It looked like they were just going to get crushed by Vietnam, but, you know, just enough, barely. Belmoth able to stay alive, and that gave them enough hope that they're able to find some footing here in this next circle. Meanwhile, Finland's opting to try to push their way through Milta Power proper, kind of hoping maybe that it's not super occupied, but
when was the last time you saw 5 teams in Milta Power? Because we have Argentina, technically Japan, technically Finland.
Maybe never.
China and Chinese Taipei and Korea on the outskirts of it.
Matt, so, I can't remember a time that I've seen this.
Not in a long time. The last time I saw something that was going to be this messy happening around Milta Power, Rumblers got fined. So this is going to be tricky for everybody, and I think that Korea is going to be a big beneficiary of this. This position there outside
I love this spot.
If this continues to go to Milta Power, okay, it's going to be hard for everybody else. But if this moves away from Milta Power, Korea's going to be able to mop up a lot of kills here.
You can see almost everything all the way to the west and to the southwest in this circle. You can't see Milta Power and what's north of you, really. I mean, you can kind of run to the hill edges, as you can see they're doing, and get an idea of what's happening on the edges of Milta Power, but that's it. But the circle's pretty likely to move either hard north or hard west. Well, I shouldn't say pretty likely. It pretty much has to, because it has to cut out as much water as possible as we go into phase 4. Water ratio, land ratio, whatever you want to call it, of course, going to be in play. So, but I like this spot because you can get a ton of information from it safely.
Milta Factory or Small Power, whatever you want to call it, could be a key component inside this based off the way the circle shifts. There's also the hills that are going to be to the west and the southwest of that position that are very common endpoints for this circle. And yep, no surprise, goes right over there. So that means the fact that there is some of Milta Power proper still in play. We do have Thailand that's going to have to move, Indonesia's player is going to have to move, and Vietnam's player is going to have to move. But I think that most of the attention is going to be drawn into Milta Power's direction.
Yeah, I mean, Milta Mini here for Brazil is defendable, but sometimes difficult. Oh, Luna gets one. Oh, he tries to free fire. Can't find the second. Diggory just a little bit better.
1 HP. Almost gets 2v1. Turkey runs in, going for the stop right at the logs, but I mean, that's going to be in nade range. Got to be very careful of that one. Turkey already realizing that, going to hop out. And here come the quick assaults all around. Argentina already hopping inside vehicles. They did leave 2 of their members back in the Wizard Tower, but the other 2 coming in, and Brazil is going to be holding down that center point. But there are too many targets to try to hold down. China already hopped in vehicles. They're going to be rolling right in between Chinese Taipei as well as Korea. It is going to be sheer on chaos, as I think that China is going to be crashing in very close to where we see that hillside. But Thailand has already moved, and it's going to be nowhere for China to stop at.
Yeah, I thought China might try to take the bottom right corner of Milta Mini here.
Oh, that's bad.
But there's just too much action, and they're a little bit too scared. Meanwhile, Korea
will see that.
They're really going to flank this out. Yep, exactly. This beach is just kind of sloped enough that you're able to stay safe behind it. You're going to get the level 3 gear there for Seoul at the very least. Grenade here for Haven, going to be cooked, thrown out. Doesn't do too much damage, though, as the vehicle's kind of being shifted around by Argentina. They're trying to find some kind of foothold to get through this fence line.
This is going to be very rough for Brazil because they can't even step out too far. They are going to get shot. Nice air burst, going to land right on top of Sills and Martinson. These guys now know who they're going against and know exactly how they're going to be playing. These guys have been playing against each other for so long. Argentina and Brazil, these guys are very often on teams together. So this is going to be a little bit of jockeying, I would say, for pride in what's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, again, anybody who's either played or watched knows how difficult it is. That player was already dead. Yeah, it's already Xavier stole it. But, I mean, it's so hard to assault this compound if you have a kind of rapid response as the team that's inside of Milta.
Oh, Vietnam. Who are you going to give the skill point to? Is it China? Is it Korea? I don't know. It's one of the 2 of them. It's going to be Korea. So now then, I think that we're finally getting the calm. Korea's going to regroup to the north, so it's going to see Lash and Anonix. I do like Korea's split over here. They've got a lot of vision on what's going on, but if they have to move, they are pretty much screwed.
It's hard to move off of that beach, no doubt about it. So it takes good timing and good patience, and then hopefully you can find some point where you're either able to.
Look at what they have to rotate through right there.
Yeah. No. It's near impossible, and so you're either looking at trying to. You're probably going to stay on the side of the road until you absolutely have to leave it. Then you're going to try to either push through Milta Mini, which is near impossible, as you just saw with Argentina try to take their hand at it, or they have to wrap around to either the north or the south. But all these options are super difficult.
Okay, Brazil definitely in the strong position, but it's inversely strong given the fact of how many people could be eyeing to assault it. With this now said, the remnants of Argentina, Finland, and Canada are strong given the fact assault from the north. Korea is going to have to make their move, but UK, who has been very quiet today, does have a strong position to play in the south. Yeah,
UK actually not in a terrible spot at all. I mean, they should have pretty free reign over that last hill that's in the southern tip of the circle. Xavier, they're going to find the knock on a page, so Finland's still trying to bully their way through Milta Power, and it has to happen now as Circle's left them, but with the full forces of Chinese Taipei barreling down on them, good luck.
You got to give it to Finland. They are trying. They know that they want to climb the leaderboard, but very outnumbered at this stage. Well played coming up from them. Korea hears that firefight, looking into it, and now Argentina making a back rotation into this, hearing a firefight, thinking maybe taking third party. Problem is, there's no chance to. It's already finished out. It's going to be Finna now getting at range, taking some shots to them as well, and you can see this is going to be the nature of the beast for everybody that's trying to rotate in. Just vision, third, fourth, fifth party popping off.
Yeah, exactly. Korea has to clear China out here.
look at how many smokes they
I know, you just have to, but I mean, Korea has to cut off the vision of the UK here to make this assault. Soul's taking a decent amount of damage. He's actually going to get knocked by Beck. That's huge. That's that level 3 gun, that level 3 gear that they had reached out to the beach to pick up earlier on the ground. Let's see if they can recover Soul.
Oh no, Korea's trying to fight their way through this one, but guess what? Chinese Taipei does hear this. I was afraid that they just might run through the smokes and just try to run them over. Instead, Chinese Taipei makes a run to factory itself. Korea finding some opportunities moving forward, and it looks like they're just going to roll right into it. Jumps up, bumps into one of them, goes for the shot, does go down. Can we see the rest of Korea try to capitalize off of this? It's going to be cover now provided for China.
Okay, well now they got to follow up. They had to go for the res on his soul. He's just going to get re-knocked right away here by the UK. I know, they've got to find a way, a timing to send it on to China. They're going to be going for the res, and they're probably going to get it.
With the amount of time this is now taken, they are just trapped out here. The blue is going to be coming after them. Argentina is tailing it back behind this. Canada is trying to make their push into where we can see that Turkey's going to be defending, but Turkey has been doing a very good job at ruining the dreams of everybody from North America so far today.
Yeah, oh, that's a stun there. I thought it might be a frag. If it was, it could be pretty damaging to the side of Canada. They have to abandon Soul, so probably transferring over whatever they could, but Ali has a great angle, and it's going to be actually VHCs from Brazil that gets a knock on the lash.
Loki does survive, but Ali RV is behind him. Spots out what's going on, seeing if maybe he can connect. The blue does get enough of it, and he's going to take down Loki, as it's going to be Sparking that takes him down. And I think finally it's starting to settle down.
Yeah, it's so difficult to push off of that beach. Is that a frag around the corner? It is. It doesn't get any finishes. They're so weak, and that's going to be good enough. Kletpa for Turkey, going to finish off Canada.
Turkey doing pretty well today. I mean, it's not the flashiest of flash, but they're doing a good job of realizing how to navigate what's going on around them. Brazil, though, still in a comfortable position, now getting far more uncomfortable by the second. Chinese Taipei is on the outside wall from them. The new circle pops, and Sparking's trying to defend up at range, but the rest of Brazil is having to move out and figure out what's going on. They do get 2 knocks of what's going on with Chinese Taipei, but now have a knock of their own thrown back at them, trying to find the angles for it. Haven cannot quite find the angle to work with, and he goes down as well.
All right, Yan Li still rocking and rolling for Chinese Taipei. Just VHE and Sparking left as they've got China hot on their heels. They love this corner. I've seen the Chinese teams do this all the time where they're going to start splashing grenades in, up and over with the underhands to try to breach the walls.
Ming realizing how he needs to go through this one, but Vehicle doing a good job on providing some cover for him to work with. China used the opportunity to sneak into this spot. So 3 teams all fighting for this one. Sparking did leave his high ground position, is now coming in to provide support to the rest of his team. This is going to be a very pivotal fight. Whoever manages to win this is going to have the easiest path into the next circle.
Yeah, I mean, if Brazil can hold on here, they're looking really good for this next game. And T-Bone tries to push up over that hill, but Escaliza is going to find the headshot, and Vard immediately trades up. United Kingdom here trying to breach through that grenade. So close. Michael is so low.
Junko and the rest of Thailand is trying to hold this, but I mean, he's the last member up. He's afraid to go for any form of res. He does have UK that's right next to him. The reinforcements for UK are coming in. He tries to step up and go for it, but does get dropped. UK could come in and provide some reinforcements and get the reses into it, but we do have a fight that's starting to break out in multiple locations. Brazil is getting spotted out, and now it is just Sparking, the last one up, as it's continual fight between these guys.
ZP Yan accidentally shot Ming Ming in the head there. They're both trying to kind of watch the same angle down that fence line, and Yan Li going to see if he can punish this. The last molly in the back just comes up short, so Ming Ming going to continue to crawl back to ZP Yan. Stun over the wall, though. Sparking trying to, he faked a bit so he can go for the res.
Do note those cars lined up against the wall. That is so important in how you see these assaults come in. They've been eating a lot of the nades. They've been providing the cover that was very necessary for these teams to hold this position. Sparking did get the res onto VHZ as Yan Li is doing a good job of surviving. Chinese Taipei sitting at 10 kills. This has been a very active movement coming out from them. China also getting into a spot that they just, I mean, there was a desperation play, but somehow still surviving. Do note, though, nobody is really moving except for Sparking, who has moved back into factory itself, or mill to small, however you want to call it, and getting into a good spot to play from. China is going to opt to play to the south of it. That means that we're going to start seeing vision between them, and it's going to be VHG that's trying to hold it together against Yan Li.
Yeah, let's see here if either player can finish the other off before China gets involved in this. But it's Sparking from afar. Yeah, it was going to put Yan Li inside of the security officer's house, and he's got to go for the heal. Should be able to get it. I don't suspect there's much utility. Oh, he's got it. Oh, around the window, gets the headshot, finishes the job. VHG there. Get a little help from the blue along the way.
Back down in the south, you can see it's going to be USA versus Australia, and Australia is coming in with some gusto. They're putting in some work onto USA. UK is on the backside of USA as well, so there is nowhere to go. Kickstart now, all by his lonesome, trying to figure out how he is going to survive. New circle. about to pop, and everybody is waiting with bated breath. It does stay along these hills and is going to be very problematic for most of these teams to move in.
Yeah, this is really tricky if you're not inside the walls of Milta Mini. Everybody else kind of has to do a little bit of trench warfare on the outside in these hill lines. And Kickstart, yeah, he's got a smoke and a little bit of a hillside to work with, but eventually somebody's going to have to push up and over. It's going to be tough for Australia here to get up and over on foot. I'm not sure if they have any vehicles on the backside or not to make the rotation, but Turkey on the move up on the north side.
That adrenaline syringe is going to have to be doing some work given the amount of enemies that are around Kickstart right now. The way this is lined up, though, it is hillside to hillside, so UK could see Australia. Australia gets the read on that. And so Australia does move into the north, wrapping around where we might see Turkey make their assault. VHZ is still holding up for Brazil, but you can see now with the firefight having been, I guess, a problem for everybody that was inside of Milta Small, it's just remnants of people that are playing around the outside of it.
Yeah, Turkey here. Oh my goodness, Monty almost got the knock there onto Smash. They're going to be able to vault up and over safely here behind this silo. Go for the heels, should be good to go. So a nice little maneuver, nice timing. Oh no, he stood up on top of the wall and Tiggleton punishes it.
Man, you cannot do that around Tig. He will not let it happen. Australia now counter moving into this, kind of leaning into a 2-2 split. I wouldn't say it's quite that just yet, but they're kind of dancing around trying to defend each other. VHZ looking down into China, trying to get some shots into Ming Ming, but it's going to be VHZ that's on the bad end of those bullets. So now he does manage to hold out to this spot, tries to get some more, but it's going to be very hard to finish anything. He knows the assault is going to have to come by working their way up through this or a beautifully tossed nade. But China had to throw everything just to get into this stage.
Oh, certainly, yeah. They are very low on utility. VHZ there kind of catching Ming Ming by surprise. Ming Ming probably expecting that VHZ was going to go for the heal based on the amount of damage he had done, but VHZ kind of wisely there opting to go for the re-peek. Now, VHZ is in an awkward position. Like this particular like rooftop is pretty difficult to navigate in and out of sometimes.
It's so hard to defend, and especially as a solo, you can see that there's just people crawling all around this, and you have to assume somebody's going to come after you at some point. Sure, he's got the high ground, but that just means as he's moving around, people like Australia can see him, and so he is really capable of being assaulted by everybody that is still alive right now.
Yeah, every time he peeks, somebody's going to be looking at him. Everybody's going to be watching him because he's got, overview on the circle. Certainly that's nice, but again, like you mentioned, because he's a solo, it's not as powerful a position as usually. We're going to start moving away from Milta Mini a little bit here. Still the southwestern corner of the compound in play for this circle, but Phase 8 is going to end on the outside just barely, and UK has firm control of that hillside that's closest to the center.
VHC still trying to make this work. Aware that China is down below him. UK, as you said, has a very strong position inside this next circle. So it's going to be a lot of these guys just fighting for a good spot and try to rotate in to get as close as they can. Problem is, how do you do that with the amount of teams that are still holding down in this spot? China knows where VHZ is, but they're also aware that there could be anybody around any corner. Turkey is still back behind this and is probably going to assault along this path once this firefight ends.
Yeah, you see China heard VHZ moving there, so eyes up as he goes back up to that rooftop. Australia, yeah, still plenty of vehicles here to make a maneuver. Yeah, I mean, they might just swing around the southern edge here, kind of work their way through. First, they got to go through Kickstart, then the rest of UK. If they can dislodge the UK, they've got a great chance to win this game.
Yeah, the Kickstart holding down this position might make it slightly complicated for them, but UK's position is so freaking strong. It is going to be very hard to assault from this angle. Really, it's the remnants over here that are going to have the best one, but hey, I guess if you're just driving around shooting whatever you want, you can come from any angle that you want to, right?
Oh, totally. And the good news is like the rest of the teams are stuck fighting each other inside the compound, so you kind of have a one-way battle against UK if it wasn't for Kickstart. You get him eliminated. CVHC can't peek over at all, like you were talking about earlier. It's so challenging to get up and over that ledge with everybody aware of that position and knowing how dangerous it is to give him any opportunity to take shots.
You got to give it to VHZ. This is now 2 times in a row. He has done a great job of surviving for Brazil in a desperate situation, and he's still going for peaks. It's not like he's just playing this passive. China now has spotted out Turkey, tries to get them dropped, but it's just a smidgen of damage, and it's going to be Luke at range that hits him beyond. So now Australia is starting to take control of this area. UK lined up against them to the southeast of their point, but Australia is just looking to the north.
Oh, VHC wanted to go for the finish onto China there, but couldn't quite connect on the follow-up shots. Now you've got Turkey wrapping around in front of him, and here goes VHC lighting up Australia there, doing some serious damage.
Gets the shots in.
Oh my God, he's got one. Can he get more?
goes for the jump down. This is gonna hurt, but it doesn't matter. Does get him some cover from the wall, and now trying to assault what's going on around. Gets the read on it, but it's gonna be Ming Ming that takes him down. Now we're in R4. Ming Ming and Turkey still alive on one side, but Australia lining in, and UK has the beat on the center point for this. 1v1 on the outside to see who can be maybe the X factor in this next fire.
Yeah, how do you like trying to go up against one of the best players in the world? Keppa gonna go down to Ming Ming. Ming Ming, the one-man army, but the volley's perfect!
Oh, of all the ways for that to end, that's gonna hurt.
Oh man, I thought Ming Ming might be on a tear there, but what a molly from Australia to finish the job. And now there's the AWM that's going to fall into the hands of Luke 12. But the full forces of the UK, man, this is going to take incredible shooting. That's not bad.
On both sides of it, tapping into each other. Fex gets the better end of it, though. Now just one member up. Australia's Flood's got to try to do something. UK has been on a roll yesterday, and now finding their strength on Erangel yet again. Coming up alive, and they don't even care. They're charging across. When Flood does get one of them down, reveals his position. There you go. UK picks up another one.
Yeah, UK here with a big finish to the day. They really were feeling the pressure as the day drove on, but they are able to get another one on Erangel. Seems to be their preferred map for this event. You can see Michael now. I said he was shaking his head a bit earlier. Now he's shaking it in a different direction. He's looking good.
I mean, okay, we're halfway through. This is where we can start really talking. UK has come out the gate, swinging off this one. Brazil being an underdog surprise story. I mean, still putting in almost 2,400 damage inside that last round. And I feel like a lot of the teams that we were having high expectations for, we're just seeing being trounced by teams that we were not expecting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it is a pretty interesting lobby so far, and there's been a lot of surprises. There's been a lot of teams that had 4 days yesterday that are having good days. So going into the second half, man, anything's possible.
All right, so I know we've got to go ahead and switch off because this was our last game of the day. So I'm going to summon your analyst desk by saying, lads.
That's right, 3 lines on the shirt. Anyway, I'll stop again. We have got ourselves back on the road again, lads. We're getting ourselves the win. It's Erangel as Great Britain. Never doubted them, boys. Never. Okay, it was a bit of a rough day, admittedly.
It was a bit rough.
Back onto Erangel, and they do well again, right? Yeah. So yeah, they got Union Jack for this one, and they stepped up. I will say this though, VOD in this game had an absolute performance. That was crazy how many of his engagements he won.
I think we like to call that in the UK a banger, Toffees.
Right. I mean, listen, yesterday the Erangel circles were wild, UK does well. This circle was wild, UK does well.
You're not wrong. We also had insanely wild circles on all 5 Erangel so far. 2 Northwest, 1 Stalber, 1 military, one literally on the tip of Milta.
This was nuts. I mean, there were so many teams trying to rotate across the north of Milta Power. Right. Never mind anything else, but let's take a look at the highlights coming on in. And I feel like as the steps came along with this game, Toffees, the UK knew where they were going to be going circles ahead as Thailand moved north of them, and they saw that eventually, I feel, as an opportunity.
Sure. Yes, they knew exactly where they were going. I do think that they made the choice to not move Thailand a little too early. Did some scouting for them. I think the story of this one, though, was the chase. Every team was just trying to figure out how do we chase the circle. Never have I thought to myself, the rocks behind Milta Power will be a strategic position. But you saw Korea go there, and they got kills out of that area. Every other team was trying to get up into there. I mean, this was an anomaly as far as circles go.
When the second circle popped, you just hear the crowd screaming like, oh! Because they're so rare. Because then you have third circle that will not eliminate water. It's not until the 4th, and you can see how the players are trying to play around that too.
Exactly. So impressive stuff there overall. To be able to circumvent the complications that come with a circle quite like that. I think a lot of teams as well probably breathing a sigh of relief seeing that Brazil had Milta Power. Sorry, mini Milta Power even, I should say. That would normally be a bastion, a stronghold, Martin, but a lot of teams crashed it.
When you see mini power in general in the late games, it doesn't end west of it. It ends either south, north, or east. It's kind of hard to get out because all these dips that you saw Thailand play, UK play, the area that you saw Australia play, it is gatekeeping them to try to get out. So it was rough for them in general, and they couldn't advance. But in general here, 14 smokes for UK. They set this off. Not a lot of nades used. And that's, I don't know if that's the kind of star that we're going to see from them in here, that we're going to see the fracking power just again and again, because their mechanical skill is through the roof.
The biggest issue with little power, too, is there's no way out, but everyone else is constantly trying to get in.
Right.
I will give props to Brazil. They spread out. They were taking 1v2s and 3s constantly to try to defend that, and they went very late under constant onslaught.
And here are the final moments from this game, and it really did feel like, unfortunately, for the rest of the teams, UK just had the better position. It's difficult to kind of breach onto that spot.
I'll say this though, I am pleasantly surprised with how far China was able to take as a two-man. On the east side, they had to cross the road, they had to get into mini power, they had to traverse through a lot of difficult situations. They were able to take a lot of Brazil out too.
I still don't understand why Korea didn't push them on that position before they crossed the road.
Exactly.
That I will not understand.
Inonex pushing alone with the car there. If there were two, they would have been fine, and Inonex would have been alive too.
Yep, 100%.
And here's the points coming in as we have 21 coming in for Great Britain, United Kingdom. Of course, they have not had the best of days, but this is a nice bump up for them after having a poor day. I will say one concern that does rest on probably a lot of the team's minds is that now China has hit the floor running here in day 2.
That running, sprinting. I mean, these guys came out like there's a gold medal on the other side of the line, and they're going after it. 12 kills in this game, and every other one has been a totally different China than we saw yesterday.
Yeah, you would think that Sonic was their coach, how fast they went.
Very, very nice. There you go. And it's going to be Vard. So he didn't quite, officially in inverted commas, get them on yesterday, but he does this one.
I absolutely love when United Kingdom does this well, because your northern accent just levels up and just flows through you, and I love it.
I've been doing it, lad. Oh, sorry about that.
That said, looking at this, looking at the way they played, UK is a team that can win this event if they figure out how to play the deserts. They're doing this off of half of the map.
Well, we're not very good in the heat, I'll have you know. So.
I will say, though, they need to keep up with Brazil, because they're pretty damn decent with both maps.
Brazil plays both, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. UK, though, will jump into second place off the back of this total lead.
I will say this, though. The top 3 teams have won 7 of the 10 games so far, guys.
Ooh.
The top 3 is stacking up the points. Finland, 10 points ahead of Korea. They're trying to hold on. Also, Australia, after that last game, trying to hold on. But Brazil, they've had an absolutely amazing day so far.
It is interesting, though. I feel like there are some games that South Korea could have won, could have converted, but did not. Gentlemen, thank you very much. It is now time to head to the interview here for the end of day number 2.
โอ้โห เอาละค่ะ และสำหรับในวันที่ 2 นี้นะคะ สุดยอดมากๆ ตื่นเต้นสุดๆกันไปเลยนะคะ ต้องบอกว่าสำหรับการแข่งขันในวันนี้ดุเดือดเผ็ดมันกันจริงๆค่ะ แล้วก็ที่สำคัญเลยนะคะ กับทีมที่สามารถทำคะแนนได้สูงสุดนั่นก็คือบราซิล อุโดโดเตรสตึงเอาไม่ใช่นะคะ อยู่ตรงนี้กันแล้วนะคะ ซึ่งก็อยู่กับ Sparking นั่นเอง ก็ต้องบอกว่าเป็นทีมลีดเดอร์นะคะ วันนี้เดี๋ยวเราจะได้มาสัมภาษณ์กันว่าในฐานะที่เป็นหัวหน้าทีมรู้สึกยังไงบ้างนั่นเองค่ะ
So today is the second day, and we're going to interview one of the team that have the top performance today. So as a leader, how do you feel since your team won the first place of the day?
I'm not an EGL from like 2 years ago. I have been playing like as a fragger, so it was really challenging for me to become an EGL like so quickly. But I'm really proud of my teammates. They have been sending mechanic. They have been fragging a lot, and I'm really confident about my calls. Yeah, I'm so proud of them.
ก็ในฐานะที่เป็นลีดเดอร์นะคะเขาก็ให้เครดิตกับทีมซะส่วนใหญ่ค่ะถึงเขาจะเป็นลีดเดอร์ก็ตามนะคะก็คือถือว่าเป็นการร่วมมือร่วมใจกันในการที่จะทำให้ทีมคว้าชัยชนะในวันนี้ค่ะ
นะคะคือต้องบอกว่าเป็นทีมที่แบบให้ความสำคัญกับสมาชิกทุกคนมากๆเลยนะคะแล้วก็ต้องบอกว่าวันนี้เนี่ยเราได้เห็น performance นะคะของบราซิลคือแบบมีการแบบ steal kill แบบค่อนข้างเยอะอะไรอย่างนี้จากในเกมนะคะคือเราจะเห็นแบบเยอะมากๆเลยคือเราอยากจะรู้ว่าอันนี้คือแอบเป็นกลยุทธ์หรือว่าเป็นสิ่งที่วางแผนมาตั้งแต่แรกหรือเปล่านะคะ
So it seems like there were some part that Brazil got the steal kill points today. So what's the strategy that you prepared?
I mean, we got the circle, we got the kills.
เขาบอกว่าคน
There's nothing like to do. I mean, we got fed, so we're just gonna enjoy shooting people, right?
Yeah,
We're having
sure.
fun.
It's your chance.
ค่ะก็ในเมื่ออยู่ในวงแล้ว เราก็ได้คิวไป ฉะนั้นก็ช่วยอะไรไม่ได้นะคะ
ตอบแบบก็
เก๋ๆเนาะ
ฟีลแบบชอบเข้าข้างอ่ะถ้าจะไม่คิวก็จะให้ทำยังไง
มันไม่ได้
มันเป็นอะไรที่น่าอิจฉามากเลยนะคะ โอเค ทีนี้คำถามต่อมาแน่นอนคือจะมีอยู่ช่วงหนึ่งต้องบอกว่าเป็นเกมที่ 6 เนาะซึ่งทางบราซิลเองเนี่ยเขาก็ได้แบบชิคเก้นดินเนอร์นะคะวินเนอร์ชิคเก้นดินเนอร์ซึ่งทางนี้เนี่ยมันจะมีช่วงที่ต้องบอกว่าทางชื่ออะไรนะคอรีสใช่ไหมกำลังแบบอุ๊ยกำลังคิวกับแบบมันกำลังน็อกกันอยู่อะไรเงี้ยแล้วแบบเวียดนามกำลังแบบกำลังกระจายตัวในการน็อกตรงนั้นอะไรเงี้ยอยู่ดีบราซิลเข้ามาสวบยิงคิวคือแบบทำแต้มไปเลยอะไรเงี้ยคือก็เป็นอะไรที่น่าตกใจมากนะคะดังนั้นอันนี้ก็เลยแบบอยากจะสอบถามนิดนึงว่ามันแบบมันยังไง
So we would like to know on the 6th match it seems like you got the chicken dinner, right? And it seems like there was a time that Cloris, the Vietnam team, was shooting the USA team, yes. And it seems like, do you know that he was hiding that time?
So we knew that someone was hiding under us, like between us and USA, but we had no clue exactly where he was. But we thought they were pushing left, but they knocked Raven, so okay, they're gonna push Raven. And suddenly, I don't remember the name, but he knocked one, and I said, oh, they knocked one. Oh, knock two. Oh, knock three. Oh, let's go, just go. Yeah. So, yeah.
ค่ะประเด็นก็คือจริงๆไม่ทราบนะคะว่าใครที่แอบอยู่ตรงนั้นแต่ในเมื่อแบบเขาช่วยน็อกตอนแรกน็อกคนแรกน็อกคน2น็อกคน3ถ้าน็อกเยอะขนาดนี้เราเข้าสิคะประมาณนั้น
อะไรประมาณนี้นะคะก็คือเหมือนพูดง่ายๆว่าอยู่ตรงนั้นเต็มเลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเหมือนปลาอยู่เต็มเลยเรารู้สึกอยากจะเข้าไปอะไรอย่างงี้นะคะก็นั่นแหละก็ต้องบอกว่าคือวันนี้แบบท็อปฟอร์มมากแล้วก็ต้องบอกว่าบราซิลนะคะคือวันนี้สามารถทำคะแนนได้คือแตะ100เป็นที่เรียบร้อยแล้วเราก็เลยแอบอยากรู้นิดนึงว่า expectation หรือว่าคะแนนตรงเนี้ยเขาคาดหวังไว้ว่าอยากจะทำคะแนนให้ได้ที่เท่าไหร่
So today you already got more than 100 points already, but could you please tell us what's the total of the points that you would like to get?
Max as possible. The goal is always be better than yesterday, and we're gonna make the points we need to win the tournament.
ค่ะก็คือไม่ได้อยู่ที่จำนวนนะคะแต่ว่าเราจะพยายามทำให้ดีที่สุดมากกว่าเมื่อวานค่ะในทุกๆรอบนั่นเองค่ะจุดประสงค์ก็คืออยากจะ